Hey, everybody, welcome back for another ISSA Talk. This is part two. I've got an amazing guest with me today, Miss Sky Halliday Wilson. Hi, Sky.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. I'm so glad to have you back. Today, we talked last time about some different fitness trends and things that you were seeing, how we can kind of debunk some of those trends and make sure that people are training for their bodies, right? And taking care of themselves.
Yes.
Um,
Take
but
care
today,
of you.
let's talk about the holidays are coming up. Let's talk about balancing with training. Okay. So,
Mhm.
my very first question for you, first and foremost, is there room for treats when we're training to reach a fitness goal?
Jenny, let me scream this from the rooftops. Yes, there's room for treats. And
You mean I can have my candy corn?
yes. Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. We need to talk about that. Hold on. Rewind. Candy corn is gross. Candy corn is
I
gross.
love candy corn. Stop it.
Okay. So you might be one of 5 people buying it.
Probably.
Okay. We're going to skate on past that. Uh, I always tell people I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. There is room for foods that are off your plant or that are not the most nutritious. And generally, those foods come around holidays like Halloween. And I'll tell you right now, we bought candy for the trick or treaters, and I will be eating plenty of it. So,
So
yes,
you bought it
there
for
is,
yourself, is what I'm hearing.
yes. That is pretty much exactly it. The kids are the excuse, but let's be honest.
Nice. So we can have treats when we're training. All right. What
Yes.
do we need to know about that?
So, first thing I always tell, especially my nutrition clients, because I have a lot of clients who share a very similar thought. They say, okay, for the 6 weeks we're going to work together, I'm not going to do any sugar, no treats, no dessert, anything. And I always like to bring it back to your why. First of all, when we talk about goals, they need to be tied and rooted in a deeper why than just an arbitrary, lose weight, build muscle. Because what does that actually mean to you?
Yep.
I have clients who have very specific physique goals for very specific reasons. Then I have clients who just want to be a little bit healthier because maybe they have, had conversations with their physician and their health isn't where it needs to be. I have people who just want to feel better and be more confident in their own skin. So we need to talk about your why. And when we talk about treats, we need to remind ourselves that one particular food or a meal or a treat doesn't derail your progress because our body composition and our health is what we do most of the time, not some of the time. There's that kind of very like Pinteresty saying, one salad doesn't make you healthy and one donut doesn't make you overweight.
Yep.
So when it comes to these treats, I always talk about one, your why, so rooting it to your goals, but two, your intention. I think with food, oftentimes, especially food like treat food, it becomes kind of a mindless thing where you start to get a handful of like Jenny, your candy corn, and it becomes really easy. Like all of a sudden, one handful is two, two to three, three to four, but you don't even remember that second handful. And what the heck? How did I eat all this? And so I always say a lot of us have turned our brain off when we eat. We're not even focusing on the taste, the texture. Are we full? Are we even enjoying it? I use the example anytime I go home for Christmas, my mom puts red and green M&Ms out. I don't even like M&Ms, and I will find myself with a handful of M&Ms because I've
Yep.
completely turned my brain off. So, being more intentional. When you want to have a treat, is this something you really want to enjoy? It's one of your favorite foods, you look forward to it, or is it just kind of there? Are you just consuming it because it's in eye shot? So thinking through the intention, and really actually enjoying it, chewing slowly, and then deciding, okay, I'm full, I've had that treat, and I'm going to move on and know that it's not derailing my progress.
Absolutely. Great point. But what kind of tools can a trainer out there give to their clients who are looking for a way to find moderation? Everything in moderation, including moderation, is my slogan.
Oh, I love
But
that.
what
That is a
tools
good
can
book.
we give to clients to help them find that moderation where they don't say I can't have this? Because in my
Mhm.
in my experience, when somebody says I can't have this, whatever it is, that's all they think about,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Instead of saying I can have this, but I'm choosing not to. There's a difference.
Isn't it funny too? I feel like we grow into adults, but we are forever the kid whose mom is like, don't touch the hot pot. And the kid's like, I'm going to put my hand on the stove just because you said that.
Right.
So it's just like treats. The second you tell yourself, I can't have dessert, then why do you have like pieces of cake and candy like dancing through your brain? My one of my biggest tips I give my clients is before you're going to consume a higher sugar, higher fat, whatever it may be, food, throughout your day, make sure you've had your water. Make sure you're drinking your water, that you're eating your protein, you've gotten your greens in or your veggies at every single meal. So then by the time you have that treat, you're not over consuming because you actually are truly hungry. You've had enough of the good stuff. Second, I always say, especially when it comes to things like treats, and like we gave the handful example, if I scoop a handful, I don't even actually have any idea what portion the size is, and I'll probably eat it quicker because it's just kind of there. Portion yourself out something. I always use the example: eat, don't eat over the sink. Don't be grabbing handfuls of chips, eating over the sink. Pour some on a plate, sit down, enjoy that food. Don't feel like you have to shove it in your mouth really fast because, oh, it's going to go away because I'm not really supposed to be having this.
Yeah.
And third thing would be exactly what you said. Remove that language, because I think how we speak to ourselves is so, so, so important. Stop telling yourself you can't have something. Stop telling yourself you're cheating on yourself if you enjoy it. Tell yourself, I love, like for me personally, I love Milky Ways. I think it's one of the best candies you can get in a trick or treat bag. So if I want to have a Milky Way, I'm going to have that piece of candy. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to sit on my phone and scroll through so I don't even notice the bites I'm taking. I'm not going to shamefully shove it in my mouth and feel bad later. I'm going to enjoy that caramel nougaty goodness and then drink my water and move on, because it's not going to ruin my progress. That candy bar is not the thing that derails me. It's all the behaviors that get us to either overeat or riddle us with shame.
Absolutely. What you just said is key, Sky. Like, you have to move on, right? So whether you
Mhm.
have one slice of pie at Thanksgiving or you end up having three slices of pie at Thanksgiving, guess what? You ate it already. It's
Yeah,
gone. It's done.
it's
You can't do anything about it.
Mhm.
Right? So don't. And then there's people who go though the next day, the day after Thanksgiving, instead of going shopping, they go to the gym for the next 3 hours because they're like, oh, I feel so bad. I got to work this off. At that
Mhm.
point, your body can only absorb so many calories at once. So if you had a giant
Mhm.
meal and three pieces of pie, there's a good chance your stomach is upset.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And
Oh,
B, like, it doesn't matter. Just move on. You have to just move forward and just do better the next day, right? Get back on track with whatever your plan was for the next day and just leave yesterday as yesterday, right?
it's so true, and I think it goes to the point of the idea, we can't out-train a poor diet. So
Yeah.
getting on the treadmill for a few hours, exactly what you said, it is not going to magically burn off the pie, and also, it's just on this hamster wheel cycle of overeat, punish myself with exercise,
Yeah.
crave, 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 deprive myself till I'm craving, overeat, now I'm back on that hamster wheel, where instead of simply saying, "You know what? My grandma makes a incredible chocolate pie with a whipped cream topping, and it is to die for. Shout out to my grandma." When I have a piece of that, on Thanksgiving or at Christmas, because she makes it for both, I don't need to torture myself because I enjoyed a treat with a loved one that actually has a lot of memories and happy feelings tied to it. And I love that idea, Jenny, of just moving on, because guess what? I ate it. It's gone. It's not coming back. It's
Yeah.
it's in a better place now. So I just say, get back to your normal routine. The next day, drink your water, eat your protein, and do whatever you're going to do normally. Don't feel like now it's a torture session in the gym.
Absolutely. So now there's people out there though that are going to say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to eat those cookies, that pie, that candy. What other things could they give themselves to get rid of that sweet tooth or satisfy themselves instead?
So I say, if your goal is to really stay on track as much as you can because you have a specific goal, and deviating from that is not going to benefit you. It's, everybody's different, then that's great. I think there are so many healthy ways to make treats that taste really good that just maybe aren't filled with as many saturated or trans fats or as much processed sugar. For example, I'm getting ready to post it on my Instagram page, but I make a awesome healthy pumpkin muffin that is sweetened with honey, and the base of it is an almond butter, and they are so good. And there's no refined or processed sugar. It's dairy free. It's vegetarian, whatever. It's a healthier version. Do I think it's quite as good as like the pumpkin pie that my grandma makes with heaping sugar piles? No, it's never going to replace it. But I'll tell you, when I'm working to stay on track, it really kicks that sweet tooth. Also, I'm a big advocate of like things like frozen fruit, because you're getting almost kind of like that cold treat, almost like popsicle, but you're eating more of a whole food source. So there's plenty of things you can do. You can get on Google or jump on ISSA's page or my page and look at healthy ideas of healthy desserts. There's tons of options. And if that helps you stay on track better, great. Get creative in the kitchen. And honestly, if you bring that dish to a family dinner, people will probably thank you because it gives them an option.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Yeah, they will definitely give other people an option to eat it with you. And I
Yeah.
always tell people I loved using like fruit or cuties or something instead. They're super sweet as well. But I
Mhm.
just had grapes like the last couple days and finally finished them. Great option.
Frozen grapes, those honestly taste like candy. Oh, they're
What
so
is
good.
with frozen grapes? I can't do frozen grapes, girl. My teeth are so sensitive.
Okay, I don't know if it's I love frozen grapes and frozen dark cherries. I don't know what it is, like the Rainier, or not the Rainier, the sweet dark cherries you get up from Washington, frozen in a bag, are so
Mm.
stinking good. And they totally kick my sweet tooth on the days where I'm really focusing on my goals. There's plenty of days when I let myself have treats, but for the most part, I do stay on track. And exactly what you said, those really help you stay on track.
Absolutely. All right. Well, maybe I'll try this frozen situation, but I'm telling you, I have the most sensitive teeth in the world, and cold stuff, like, ugh, I feel it in my brain.
You're missing out. That's a bummer.
I know. Everybody talks about like frozen thin mints and like frozen Halloween candy. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Ugh, okay, well, warm grapes for Jenny and candy corn, I
Yes.
guess.
I'll take room temperature grapes. Thank you.
Deal.
So when people are picking a treat, Sky, whether it's a
Mhm.
candy, whether it's a pie, whether it's, Thanksgiving dinner and they're like me and they're just gonna have the largest plate ever of stuffing because I love
Yeah.
stuffing at the holidays. What should we be considering? Should we be looking at calories? Should we be looking at serving sizes? Do we need to count macros? Like, what do we even need to be considering, if anything?
So I would say, again, it all comes down to your specific goals. I think kind of in our last episode when we talked about fitness trends, we kind of touched on influencers and how it's really easy for people to see somebody on the internet doing something and then say, okay, I need to do that too. If you are someone who's tracking your macros, it might be helpful for you if you have the ability to look at the macros of a recipe and toss it into your tracker. If you have those available to you. I always say if you don't and you're just trying to generally look at your portion size, trying to take a portion that is reasonable, that meets that 80% fullness feeling, leaves you satisfied without that feeling of, oh my gosh, I need to unbutton my pants. I need to take a walk around the block. I'm feeling full. Because if you are trying to stick to, especially a nutrition goal, or if you're looking at a fat loss goal where you're trying to stay in a caloric deficiency, that might be something you're looking at. I tell though a lot of my clients who just have general health goals or just trying to eat better, feel better, look better, eat with intention, eat until you are 80% full, and then step away from it, satisfied, and like we talked about, move on. I don't necessarily think you should be tracking the exact calories and sugar content of every treat you have,
Yeah.
because I do think in a way that can be a little bit more damaging to your mental health.
Mhm.
An anecdote, I'll never forget when I was in the 8th grade, one of my best friend's moms told me the amount of calories in a particular Starbucks drink that we had just gotten. You know, when you're like a middle schooler and getting like a Frappuccino is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And honest honestly have never forgotten what she said and how she said it was essentially a meal and how it was just chock full of junk and almost kind of food shamed me for this thing I was really enjoying. And I didn't really ever look at a Frappuccino the same way. I felt so bad about it. And so I think we don't need to ruin foods that we already know are not on plan foods. They're not foods we're going to consume every day. I don't need to know what's in my grandma's chocolate pie because she doesn't get to make it for me all the time. So when I sit down to have it, I'm going to eat mindfully, enjoy it with my grandmother, and be done and move on from it. I think, in the fitness world, sometimes we get a little bit obsessive with those things, and sometimes it's okay just to step back and know that you're just enjoying something simply to enjoy it.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I feel like some people, like I'm guilty of it too. We have this mentality of scarcity when it comes to holiday
Yes.
foods because, oh, my grandma doesn't make this pie all the time, or I don't always have turkey, or we don't get stuffing all the time. Girl, you can go to the store and buy stuffing any time of year. But then we feel like we need to consume 5, 10, 15 servings and mound your plate with it. You know what
Yeah.
I've started doing? I take Tupperwares with me. I'm that person. If I go to your house for Thanksgiving, I'm bringing Tupperware and I'm going to eat my plate, and I'm probably gonna take like 3 more Tupperwares of stuff home because I can always eat it later. My fiance accuses me of that all the time. He's like, "Why do you feel like it's gonna go away if you don't eat it all right now?" And I'm like, "You're right, you're right."
That is such a good point. That feeling of like, is somebody gonna take it away from you? Someone after
Never
you
gonna
try
have
to
this
take it?
again. Yeah.
My husband and I are like that with his mom's potato salad. She makes that at holidays. And let me tell you, I will walk away from that house with plates of that potato salad because I'm like, no, first of all, it stays good in the fridge. Second of all, if I eat more of this, I'm not gonna feel good. I am gonna feel sick and I'm gonna regret it when I could just have again a normal portion of it at a later date and not feel so that stuffed, yucky feeling that I think sometimes we leave holidays with because we act like it's not possible to have this food again. And, if you feel sick leaving a table, there's really two options. One, you should have just slowed down, and that's okay. Two, maybe that's what you wanted, and that was the goal because you knew this was just like your meal of the year. And a couple meals like that of the year are not going to ruin your progress. But you don't need to feel like that. You don't have to act like you said, that scarcity mindset. It will be there. It's okay.
Yeah. 100%. I remember so story for all of you guys. I love movie theater popcorn, not with the butter and stuff on it. I always get it with no salt and no butter because like it's got so much salt on it. But that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. I love movie theater popcorn. I went to the movies the other day and I usually would get like the largest one that they have, and it comes with a free refill. And I'd go get the refill halfway through the movie and I'd eat it all. And I remember it was a couple years ago, the first time I could barely get through the first bag, and I did
Yeah.
not go back for a refill. I was devastated. I was like, I feel like I wasted my money. I didn't get my money's worth. And my my boyfriend at the time, you can just come back and get more popcorn another time, right? I was like, but I have to eat it all right now.
It is funny too how, like, when we talk about holidays or like you say, the movies, certain settings just prompt us to overeat because
Yeah.
we kind of have this feeling like that's what you're supposed to do here. I mean, the amount of times I've looked down at my popcorn bag at the movies and the previews are just ending. I'm like, oh, it's all gone.
We did that the other day. I had to go get a refill before the last time I went to the movies. I had to get a refill before the movie even started.
It's
Guilty.
it's just funny. It's like those settings, or I always say that with airports. It's funny how, you go through an airport like to grab a water or something, and you're like, you know what? This flight is 2 hours long. I think I need Skittles and a package of jerky and two Greek yogurts and it's like you realize in a normal setting, you don't need to cram all that food in. But again, it's like being in that setting, you just feel the need to eat. And so I think kind of like what we talked about, just being more mindful with it, deciding, am I going to consume this food with intention and know that I most likely will overeat, which hands raised, popcorn in the movie theaters, you're in good company. Or at certain settings where it's like, okay, I can be a little bit more rational and know I probably won't starve on this flight. That, there's always the chance because I am a hungry girl, but probably not.
Yup. All right. So true, Sky. So I have one more question for you, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
mine if you tell me yours. You already told us you
Okay.
like Milky Way, and you told us you love
Mhm.
the chocolate pie. What's your
Mhm.
other favorite holiday or Halloween treat?
Okay. So chocolate pie, Milky Ways, and I don't know if they even still make them, but when I was a kid, Nerd Ropes. Do you remember Nerd
Oh
Ropes?
my gosh. Yes, they still make them, first of all. And I remember the first time I tried one of those in high school. Girl, that is sugar on top of sugar coated with sugar. Oh my gosh.
It is the best. Not only do you get the nerds where they're kind of tangy, but you get like the sweet oh my gosh. You know what? I might have to go add some of those to the Halloween candy pile because I love those. They are
Oh
such a
my
guilty
gosh.
pleasure.
You
Okay,
can
but
no longer, you have lost all privileges to talk about me and my candy corn. Just letting you know.
okay, I think we need to put up a poll on Instagram or something, candy corn or nerd rope, and I will make you a deal. If candy corn wins, I will eat candy corn for you on
Fair.
video.
Fair. So those of you guys watching, use the comments and write whether
Yeah.
you like nerd ropes or candy corn better, and let's see who wins.
Okay.
I think
I'll
that's a
be
fair competition. I
okay, but
love
what's
it.
your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure, well, I love candy corn, like obsessed with candy corn. And when I was
Right.
in group fitness, people used to bring me bags of candy corn to like they would try and bribe me. And I was like, thank you, but you're still doing the workout.
Yeah,
And
you're still
at
doing
one
burpees.
point, Sky, no joke, as a trainer, like those of you guys out there, when your clients love you, they will bring you things. And 2 years ago, I counted, I had 16 pounds of candy corn in my home
Oh my
from what
gosh,
people
you
had
are
brought
loved.
me. Yes. And don't get it twisted, guys. I ate it, all of it. It took me like 3 months, but I ate it.
But
Other
you
than that,
did
I
pretty
think,
bad.
gosh, stuffing. I'd have to say like Thanksgiving, Christmas, like when you make like that good stuffing with like the actual celery, don't make it like fast like I do without all the extra vegetables, but like real
Yes.
stuffing. So good. I love stuffing.
Okay, you're definitely missing me on the candy corn and the stuffing. You can have all my stuffing. I'll give you my plate of stuffing because, ugh, girl, we are on opposite sides of the spectrum. But I definitely respect that you and I both have not only such a sweet tooth, but that we have these foods that we love. Which I mean, again, goes to show. I mean, Jenny, you are one of the fittest people I know, and the fact that you, as a trainer, are happy to say, "Hey, I ate 16 pounds of candy corn in 4 months." Like
Sure did.
you can have it. You can have it both ways. People, get you someone who can do both. Like that mentality is you can do both.
100%, guys. Absolutely. And as a trainer, I tell people all the time, I eat candy. And if you see me ever eating candy, don't judge me for it. But I usually eat it early. It's all about timing to me. I eat it earlier in the day or before a workout because that gives you the opportunity to use it as fuel, right? I don't say burn it off. I'm not trying to burn it off or get rid of it. I'm trying to fuel my body. So if I'm going to eat candy, you'll see me eat it early in the day, but that gives me all day to use it as fuel. So I don't feel so bad about it. It's when people sit at night and have nothing to do, like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. rolls around. Are you training for a marathon while you're sleeping?
Mhm.
Like, why are you eating potato chips and candy and stuff? You don't need to. But like you said, Sky, great point. It's usually mindless. We don't even
Yep.
think about it.
It's habit. It's not an actual something we truly want. It's not something we're actually really craving. It's really just a habit. And I think, as we talk about going into the holidays, the thing I can say the most is be intentional with your choices, be accountable to yourself with your choices, and turn your brain back on.
Absolutely. And with that, you guys, that's a mic drop right there. All I can say, I'm going to end this the way that I always end our podcasts. And I implore you guys out there, help your clients out there, help them make better, bad choices, is what I always say. There's no perfect choice, better, bad choices.
Yes.
But as always, you guys make good choices.
Amen to that.
Thank you so much for being with us, Sky. This is so much fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jenny. Go enjoy some candy corn.
I will not. I did not purchase any this year on purpose because I have a problem.
Good for you. Good for you. Can't say the same.
Right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be talking to you soon.